Arguably, the first star chef was Francois Vatel in The Employee of Prince de Conde as maitre d'. Responsible for a banquet for thousands honoring the Sun King, Vatel was distraught that the seafood delivery did not arrive on time. He reputedly ran himself through with a sword. In addition to being a star of La Grande Cuisine, Vatel became known as the Suicide Fish Guy. Louis XIV's day was timed to the minute, including meals. Soon after getting up, it was soup. Louis ate alone at 1 p.m. Dinner at the royal table started at 10, presented on gold and silver cutlery, with multiple services at set intervals beginning with soup, the total meal lasting less than an hour. Royal food was described in The French Cook from 1651 by La Varenne, a chef to aristocrats. Before the French Revolution, there was plenty of places to eat in Paris, just not efficiently because the guild system meant single food monopolies. One served meat dishes and stews. Boulangeries sold bread. Another sold roasted meat. A third served cured pork, including ham and sausages. Butchers sold raw meat. Bars could not sell food at all. Restaurants sold restorative bouillons. Getting a complete meal was difficult until the guild system was abolished. Executed royals and fleeing aristocrats meant top chefs were now unemployed, claiming they were no more than high-tax commoners exploited by the nasty elites. With feudal rules and guilds eliminated, there could be opportunities in cooking for the masses, at least in Paris. Lots of specialists sold food. There were rich gourmands to work for. Write cookbooks, perhaps? The question was how to make real money. Prior to the French Revolution, Antoine Bouvier, pastry chef to the French court, became the trendsetter, establishing the Grand Taverne de Londres in Paris around 1784. Only aristocrats and wealthy commoners accepted. The tables were fancy, with tablecloths of fine linen and chandeliers, a well-stocked wine cellar, a superior kitchen, a fancy menu, and formally dressed waiters. Bouvier fled during the French Revolution but returned at a later date. Once Napoleon was defeated, officers and diplomats from around Europe flocked to the now available Haute Cuisine, and hundreds of restaurants were established. That would be Antonin Carême, survivor of the French Revolution, chef to royalty, aristocrats, and the nouveau riche. Carême started from the bottom as a kitchen boy, developed superb pastry skills, then extended his skills to all aspects of cooking. He worked for many famous people, including Talleyrand, a czar, ambassadors, the British Prince Regent, Napoleon, and the banker James Rothschild, the richest man in France. Particularly important, Carême codified classical French cooking using the finest ingredients. He standardized the chef dress, including the toque hat. His masterstroke was standardizing the concept of the mother sauces, beginning with bechamel. Add his famous cookbooks. Cafes in Paris date to the 17th century. Given the guild system, that meant coffee joined by other hot beverages, including tea, chocolate plus sorbet, and ice cream. The most successful early cafe was Café Procope, established in 1686 and frequented by luminaries that included Voltaire, Rousseau, Napoleon, and Diderot. What a great place to plot a revolution! Coffee shops started in the Muslim world, including Constantinople eventually spreading to Europe. By 1790, there were 1,800 Parisian cafes. They were in no hurry to serve food, but gradually augmented coffee with pastries and other small snacks. Eventually, small kitchens were included, and a few cafes served low cost full meals. A brasserie, French for brewery, could be considered an informal restaurant, likely with beer and other alcohol. La Mère Catherine opened in 1793. They had printed menus with a few traditional dishes like steak frites. They later became known for the clients they hosted, like Picasso and Oscar Wilde. The Russian word for hurry sounds like bistro. Russian soldiers occupied Paris after the fall of Napoleon. Legend has it that's how small or neighborhood restaurants got the name bistro, or bistro meant little cafe or wine shop. Maybe it meant an innkeeper. In any case, the typical bistro served modest and moderately priced food like cassoulet in a simple setting. There were three non-alcoholic beverages that became drinking sensations across much of the world: coffee, tea, and chocolate, which, when sugar was added, got much of the world addicted. Next time on Food, History, and Mystery.